Way down deep in the deep blue sea, I spy an octopus waving by me. Hello.
When Amaya first started receiving homework, she was very scared. She would come home sometimes and cry and tell me she didn't like school. It was a little too hard for her. I was very nervous. She was obviously always very bright and always doing good in her classes, but just her being able to get on grade level by the end of kindergarten was a really big concern for me. It was kind of at that point that I was like, okay, she may need some extra help in school. And of course, looking into the community, we stumbled upon ReadNYC.
When I first met Amy, what stood out is that she was so confident and so ready to take the next step, but she just didn't know how to get there. We saw immediately that this was a representation of a lot of our families and a lot of the people within our community. Mott Haven is one of the poorest congressional districts in the United States of America. Many of our parents are working 1, 2, even 3 jobs to make a living. So when the data came out that 9 out of every 10 kids do not read on grade level, we weren't really surprised. So when United Way of New York City approached us and we spoke about the ReadNYC initiative, we jumped at the opportunity because their passion is aligned with getting this community on reading level by the 3rd grade.
ReadNYC is an initiative that is focused on the most challenged neighborhoods and communities in this city. We know that if they're not reading on grade level by 3rd grade, they're 75% more likely to drop out of high school. And we know what happens then. Their life chances are significantly diminished. What we endeavor to do is to bring the resources to bear, training for teachers, one-on-one tutoring for young people, economic supports for families, bring them together and wrap them around these children in these most challenged communities, and make sure that as a community, as a city, we're getting these kids to where they need to be, not only on 3rd grade, but for the rest of their lives. And that's what ReadNYC is about.
I rest 8 and
Look,
nap.
is that an eye? I mean, I just remember her ability to read at the beginning before she participated in Once Upon a Summer, and then before she started school. It went from, she can read most of the book to she's finishing books in minutes. She's reading them front to back to me. She's reading them probably 5 times in a row to me. But the fact that she was able to just grasp so much more vocabulary in that short amount of time was like, it was a wonder moment. Like, I was wonderstruck. One great thing about ReadNYC is that their services do not just stop at the child. They benefit me. They benefit the parents. There are a lot of people in the community who don't come from a place where their parents were able to afford a checking account. And for a lot of people, including myself, a lot of our parents never had that education. So for me, this is me, first generation, learning how to do this, and I'm now gonna pass that on to my children. In terms of the literacy groups that ReadNYC helps sponsor, we all want the best for our children. We wanna be the best parents that we can be. And I think those workshops go in a great length to give the parent confidence, to give them those tools and those resources, again, to be your child's first teacher.
One of my favorite elements of the ReadNYC program is the professional development trainings that happen outside of the school, where I'm able to work closely with a team of colleagues and learn best practices on how to teach our students. And then being able to bring those best practices back into the classroom and actually see them work and see the growth happening right before your eyes is amazing.
Oftentimes I reflect upon where our family would be at if ReadNYC was not a part of it. There wouldn't be Amaya being able to complete books in 5 minutes if it wasn't for ReadNYC. I don't feel like I would be saying I'm an undergraduate student. It wouldn't have happened without ReadNYC.
Bye, see you soon, turtles.
Amy and Amaya are just one example of why ReadNYC is so critical. They deserve our support. And that is why your support matters so much.
What's that, Jonathan? From the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you, because programs like ReadNYC would not be available if it wasn't for people like you. Say a swordfish.
Squish.
Swordfish.
A squish.
Thank you, ReadNYC.
Thank you, ReadNYC.